follows on the way. And there's nothing cozier than a slice of warm apple cake. But who says you need to have a whole one to get that feeling? This individual size serves the purpose and there's no sharing required. So let's make it. We're going to start by creaming together a tablespoon of butter with 3 tablespoons of sugar until nice and smooth, just like that. This calls for an egg white, but instead I'm using the cartoned ones. 2 tablespoons of these equal 1 regular egg white. I find these come in handy when I just need whites and don't want to deal with the yolks as well. Did you know that worldwide there are over 7,500 different types of apples, with more than 2,500 of those being just here in the States? And only a fraction of those ever see market. Now we're going to grab 1/8 teaspoon of lemon juice and 1/8 teaspoon of vanilla extract and get those all stirred in. When finding apples to bake with, you want to make sure that they're firm, crisp, and that they'll hold their shape in the oven, that they won't get all mushy. You also want to make sure that they're going to hold up to the sugar that's in the recipe. Now we're throwing together 3 tablespoons of sugar, just a quick pinch of salt, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking powder. Your best apples for baking are going to be Granny Smith because they're firm and tart, Honeycrisp because they're crisp, juicy, sweet, and they hold up in the oven. Brayburns, which are an all-purpose apple, and they have a very balanced flavor, and they hold their shape. Jonah Golds, which are a cross between a Jonathan and a Golden Delicious. They're both sweet and tart. And Fuji's, which are crisp and sweet. But if using a Fuji, reduce the sugar in your recipe, because they are that sweet, and it can get overdone. There we go, get our dry all mixed in there until nice and smooth, just like that. I'm using a 1/2 teaspoon of apple pie spice. If you don't have apple pie spice, mix together a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon with 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg and 1/8 teaspoon of allspice. So get that all mixed in there. When selecting your apples, stay away from the Red Delicious. Those are meant purely as a snacking apple. They get very mealy and mushy in the oven. And stay away from the Macintoshes. They get mushy and they're much better for applesauce. And then lastly, a 1/4 cup of apple. Diced super fine and get that all folded in there. Chef's tip. If you're not going to use the remainder of the apple right now, grab a paper towel, moisten it with some lemon juice, rub that lemon juice on the cut parts of the apple, and then wrap it up nice and tight in plastic wrap so that no air can get into it, just like that, and then pop it in the fridge. I've had this last as long as 2 weeks. Don't go that long because it can get mushy. I was lucky, but throw it in the fridge until you're ready to use it. I wouldn't go more than a week, though. Another fun thing you can do is mix and match your apples to get a much more complex flavor. Got my prepared ramekin. And if you've been around, you know I'm all about the spatula to get every last drop out of my bowls. You know I leave nearly nothing left behind. Quick pop on the counter, get rid of any air bubbles, and then into a 350 oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. And there we have it, an amazing apple cake for one. Grab a quick slice here. Look how moist, and you can see the chunks of apple in there. If you're looking for more baking recipes for one, check this playlist. Cook for one, have some fun, and waste none. I'll see you in the next one.